Governor Kathy Hochul spoke today after a series of false threats were called into schools statewide. Students and staff are shaken following threats, including in Monroe County, which is understandably. Mackenzie Mislin joins us in the newsroom on what the governor and others are saying about the false threats and the impact on students and teachers involved. Mackenzie.
Yes, Adam and Teresa, the Rochester Teachers Association president and governor are saying these threats pose a real danger, not necessarily to the safety of staff and students, but to their mental health. Both Brighton and Brockport school districts encountered false phone threats yesterday saying an active shooter was in the building. Although the threats were deemed non-credible, Rochester Teachers Association president Adam Urbanski says it instills a fear in both students and staff.
This is stressful for adults. So you can only imagine how much more stressful it is for children, because whether you have a real danger or a faked danger, it is still stressful.
And these calls have been happening across the state. Governor Kathy Hochul spoke today about the false threats, saying in some of the calls it sounds like the threat is present.
In some cases there is a recording of sounds like shootings in the background, which is horrific, that it sounds very legitimate that this is an active shooting unfolding as the calls are going on. And so this is why it's causing so much trauma for teachers and students and families.
Although Governor Hochul says the calls are different, they all share one common theme, scaring students and staff while real threats have taken place elsewhere.
Beyond the pale to think that people are doing this to our kids, especially in light of the real shootings that have occurred in other parts of our nation just as recently this week. It is heartbreaking to know that people are so cruel and so depraved of heart they would do this to our children at this time.
Urbanski adds he's working with other union presidents through spring break to prepare for potential crime in the future.